Welcome everyone back to the Graveyard Shift, where two idiots talk horror. And today's topic, Beetlejuice Beetlejuice. And I am here with my co-star, Graham.
Hello?
Alright, so we're just gonna dive right into this. Do you want to talk about the first Beetlejuice, or do you want to talk about Beetlejuice Beetlejuice first? How you want to compare and
Uh,
contrast?
well, let's just compare and contrast here a little bit. You talk about the first one here, and just kind of briefly go over that, because I think you've seen that one more than I have.
Probably. Oh, and also before we go further into this, we are currently not in the studio for this one. We are trying a little bit of a long distance part.
Yeah, we won't be doing this a whole lot, but just for time's sake, this is how we had to do this episode.
Yeah. We both got a busy schedule today, so we're kind of tied up. So, all right. So
Let's talk about the
let's.
first one here. So, the
So
first
you want?
one follows two characters, right?
Yeah, you have the Adam and Barbara. Uh, wow, what was her last name? Maitland. That's it. Adam and
Yeah, so
Barbara
you follow
Maitland.
these two characters for really the first part of the movie.
Well, yeah, because they're the main characters of the entire thing. Because it's
Well,
not
yeah.
surrounded by Beetlejuice, even though the first one is called Beetlejuice. It's about two people dying and realizing what's going on, and they befriend, somewhat befriend, a deep Beetlejuice.
Yeah, somewhat, very, very loosely. He tricks them quite a bit.
Yeah, he's a trickster. Now,
But no,
sorry,
what
go
were you
ahead.
gonna say?
Oh, I was gonna
No,
go
you,
into
you
more
go.
detail, but I might say that for a further topic.
But so they, meet this demon Beetlejuice who basically says like, "Hey, I can get rid of these the living inside your house, so that way you can have the house to yourself, right?"
Correct.
And
Yeah,
so they hire him, and he does not do things according to plan,
no, because
and
what
then
they
they have
first,
to get rid of him.
he first sells them off as, oh, I'm just a spirit that can help you, but really he's actually a poltergeist in this movie. And the whole point of the movie is that they want their home that they've loved so much back, and these new people that are taken over gone. Which, if you look
Right.
back at other
Right.
horror movies that deal with ghosts that haunt a house, it's the same deal. Ghosts love their house, they don't want anybody taking it from them, so get out. It's basically the same storyline, but it has a twist.
You want to talk about the twist?
The
Or go
twist
more into
is
detail?
the twist is that you have this vengeful spirit Beetlejuice who becomes a trickster and tries to kill everybody in the show. Which is another thing that pops up in the second one that we're going to talk about later. Um, but yeah, where do I want to go with this?
I don't know where
Uh,
you're going with this.
I'm trying to figure this out because I had, again, if we did this last night, uh, I'd probably be more ready on all this.
Yeah, so we should probably mention we went to go see the movie last night. We didn't get out of the theater till like what, 9:15.
Something like that.
Yeah, so
So
we're
we decided,
recording this the next day.
yeah, we decided to push this to the morning, which we shouldn't have done because everything would have been fresh in my mind
Oh, it's
and
still
probably
fresh in my
everybody
mind.
else. Yeah, fresh in yours, and we also went with another friend, but he apparently didn't want to be a part of this.
But
Um,
going back to topic here, Hayden.
yeah.
So Beetlejuice tricks them and he wants to marry the daughter of
You mean Lydia?
Celia and Charles, um, who's a teenager inside the movie,
Her
Lydia.
last, it's Lydia Dietz.
Yeah, Lydia Dees.
Yeah,
And
he wants to marry her because that's the only way he can break his curse.
Yeah, because that's basically his entire plan inside. Really, both of these movies is to break his curse.
You know, which if you're a true fan of Beetlejuice, if you look back to the TV show, they don't really define the curse that much. Nor does he try to marry Lydia. He just becomes like her personal friend. Like, she befriends a demon slash trickster slash poltergeist, whatever he is in the show, which you don't see in the first movie, but in the second movie you see a lot more of that.
Yeah. Um. So now, what are your thoughts on the second movie? I enjoyed it a lot more than the first. I found the first one a little bit more boring. Um, it didn't really hook me as much as I wanted to,
Well, you're
but
talking to
I really enjoyed the second one.
you are talking to a person that loves Tim Burton movies. Um,
Oh, I love Tim Burton movies too. I mean,
but
don't
then
get
you
me
can't
wrong,
say the
I love
first
Tim
one's
Burton.
boring. That's like
Well,
saying Nightmare
for
Before
me,
Christmas is
yes.
boring.
Well, for me, it really wasn't. It didn't hook me like I thought it was
Alright.
going to.
Well, comparing it to the first one was more hooked on fear and fright and just trying to scare people. When you look at the second one compared to it, second one got rid of that part. There's no scare in it, there's no fright. It's more of just, oh, they're just goofing off. This is more towards the show, where the show's more, oh, we're gonna go on this adventure, we're gonna do some fun stuff instead of let's do something scary.
Well, the first one seems more grounded in reality, in my opinion. Like it
Okay.
seems like it's more, tame,
Okay.
if that makes sense. Than the second one. The second one, definitely goes off the rails quite a bit, especially in the third act of the movie. I don't know what your thoughts on that are.
I still love the first one more than the second one. See, I'd give the first one almost a solid 10 out of 10. But for last night's movie, I'd give it 7.5 to 8. Like there
That's
wasn't much. I understand they have it more modern and they make fun of how people are in today's society with it, but see, that just draws in too much. You need to just have more of the story base in it, like the first one. Yes, it was what was the word you used?
grounded.
Grounded. Yes, the first one was more grounded. They should have done that with the second one a little bit.
But see, I kind of like how off the rails it was at times.
Yes, some of the times, yes, it was like funny as hell to watch, but it didn't give me like the same feel of watching the first one. Like
Well,
if you look at Deadpool, Deadpool 2, and Deadpool 3, Deadpool 1 and Deadpool 3 match. They both have the same, they're both grounded to that feel. If you look at Beetlejuice and Beetlejuice, they're a little bit opposite. It's like Deadpool 1, Deadpool 2. They're trying a little too hard on the second one, which happens in sequels.
but again, I said, I kind of like that about this one, and I think that's probably why I didn't really care a lot for the first one, is because I wanted something that was more off the rails, and that's what we got inside the second one. It was just off the rails at times.
Okay.
But
Um,
going on, you were laughing quite a bit inside this
yes.
movie.
Yes, I'll admit
You
I'll admit I was
you
laughing
were
my head off
very much enjoying a lot of it.
because of sorry. Oh, and my girlfriend was walking in the room. I had to make sure no the cat's good. Um, yes, I was enjoying the movie because the humor the humor matched a little bit. They kept some of the humor from the first one, which was nice to see, but they also um s- threw in some twists, which is kind of fun. And if you haven't seen it yet, sorry for spoilers, but if you have seen it and you've seen the scene where Lydia and her manager come flying into Beetlejuice's office, uh,
Okay, that scene.
what?
No, I was trying to think of what scene you were going to talk about, but yeah, that one.
The I was gonna go to the baby scene, or where he says, "All right,
That was
let's spill our
disturbing.
guts here," and just rips open his shirt and his guts go flying.
That
See, it's twist jokes like that which are funny as hell. But
um
the baby scene was funny because I don't know why. It just made me laugh because of probably because of how the baby looks.
or the baby looks like a mini version of Beetlejuice.
Yeah, that's the point. It's a baby Beetlejuice, but it's the fact that
Yeah.
it's how stupid it looks. It gets me. Because if you ever go to Spirit Halloween, you see the little baby figures that are zombies or vampires or just sitting like little dolls. They have that glowing eyes and they're just staring and doing stupid things. That's what I saw. I just saw like my parents' haunted house that they do every year, and I just see those baby dolls, and I'm seeing one move for the first time.
No, I definitely and I really want to mention Ray's character here, or
Right.
the
The manager.
Ray, the manager. He is played by Justin. I don't know how to pronounce his last name.
And I'm trying to pull up my list. My phone decided to lock up again. It is Justin Therox.
Yeah, I really liked his character. His character just had like these really weird lines and just did really weird things throughout the
Well, yeah,
movie.
because that is because they're making fun of society today of like how people in California are. Like I could
No, and
actually
I
see 'cause
what?
if you look for where we are, how often do you see people act like this in our state?
Oh, you don't like in the Midwest. You don't see a whole lot of this.
No, you don't. But if you
Um,
look over in California, there's probably a whole bunch of people that talk like him or act like him, and no offense to me, it's annoying.
I don't know. I really enjoyed his character and just how weird he was. And one of the scenes that really stuck out in my mind is when he first meets Beetlejuice because he's like, who are you? And then Beetlejuice, rips open his shirt and guts spill out, and then he makes
All right,
Delia
Rory.
have a baby, and then Roy just like passes out.
Yeah,
That was the part that got me out of that whole scene was just Roy falling over and passing out at that point.
yeah, because his character doesn't believe in the supernatural.
Yeah, and
His character is supposed to be like oh, what's his name? Otho from the first movie. I think that's what it's supposed to be.
that would
He's
make
supposed
sense.
he's supposed to be the new Otho, which I'm surprised he wasn't in this one, in the new one.
There's
Granted,
quite a few that
like
were
Alec Baldwin
missing.
wasn't in the new one, or Barbara, or not Barbara, Gina Davis wasn't in the new one, but there's probably reasons why.
I do know they said inside the movie that Baba and Adam, what's his name?
Adam Maitland,
Adam. Okay. Like moved on. Like they found some loophole and they were able to like, move on. I
yeah,
don't know if you caught
which
that.
I caught that, which I'm guessing is probably the Soul Train from the second movie. Which, okay, so here's another thing. I'm going to be nitpicky. The second one, it seems more of a music. Now, yes, in the first one they have music playing and they do all these little bits, but this one just seemed more of a musical to me. It screamed more musical than it did.
Yes and no. I mean, yeah, there were parts where I was really expecting them to just stop and start singing, but it did have music in it.
Yeah.
Yes, but it wasn't like the main focus, in my opinion.
It wasn't the main focus, but there seemed a lot more music in this one than there was in the first one. 'Cause the first one had maybe like it had one specific song in it or two songs in it played by the same guy. In this one there was just a variety. Now, yeah, it's probably just updated, but it is the song choices weren't bad. They were pretty funny, to be honest, especially when you see Beetlejuice sitting there on the tombstone just playing a guitar, or you had the
Um,
wedding scene.
you jumped ahead of me, but I did want to talk about the wedding scene.
Okay, then go
That
ahead.
scene for me was one of my favorite parts of this movie.
See, that scene
So
wasn't bad.
the song that they play is I had it
Oh,
pulled up.
I
Hold on.
actually played that last night. Hold on, I have it played up. It is MacArthur Park, Richard Harris.
Yeah, that scene where that song is playing was just so funny.
Oh, it
And
was that. I can
and
just
one of the
picture.
things I do like about this movie is you can tell the actors had fun.
Oh yeah, they
I
definitely
mean,
had fun.
everyone looked like they were having a really good time, and I really
Sorry about that.
like that.
It was definitely a lot more not I don't want to go with this. It was very entertaining watching the wedding scene. I'm impressed on how they did it, but also if
It
you
was a remake of the Deo scene in the
yeah,
first movie.
somewhat yes.
I mean, a full blown remake, of course, but
Yeah, not a
it
full-blown remake, but
definitely,
if you seen the first one, you know the day the it's the Banana Boat song. It's the scene with the dining room table. But if
yeah,
you
yeah.
look at this one, the wedding scene is that version of the second movie. Like yeah, because the only other one I would count as the Deus scene is well not the Banana Boat scene. If you remember at the end of the first one where Lydia is dancing and you got the football players on the staircase, and
Vaguely,
she's
yes,
singing
yes.
that scene, I would say matches the Soul Train.
Yeah, yeah.
I would have to say that those scenes are matched. Different
Um,
meaning, but matched.
what else did I want to mention too? Yeah, so the wedding scenes like this one was just, it took place in the third act, and it was just, at that point in time, everything was off the rails inside the
Yeah.
movie. I don't
Which
know if you would agree.
here's another thing, and I don't mean to go. This might take us off topic or not, but if you look at the trailer of the second one, it makes it seem like the woman that's hunting down Beetlejuice is the main antagonist throughout this entire movie. Like she's the whole point of this movie. Like she's hunting them down. There's something going on. But when you watch it, she's hardly got a part in it. It's just her walking around looking for him.
Yeah, I did
It's
expect her to have a bigger role
yeah, I
than what she
expected
did.
more of a battle scene towards the end during the wedding scene when she shows up, but no, we got nothing. We just get like, oh, I'm just here. Okay, here's a sandworm. There you go.
I mean, it
Here,
was clever on how they got rid of her, but
yeah,
like you said, I was expecting more of a battle scene too,
yeah.
and
I
more
am
of
glad
a
that
fight than a sandworm showing up.
yeah, I am glad though that Rory met his end at the end during that scene. To be honest,
Yeah,
you might have liked this character. I did not. See, I
I
was for Jenna Ortega. I liked her character in this movie, even though I'm a big Beetlejuice fan. Her character was my favorite.
Oh, all of the characters were really good.
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, I don't think there was really any bad performances inside this movie. Um,
No, there's just weird characters.
no, but that's also kind of to be expected because I mean, the first movie had real characters too.
Yeah, they had weird characters because you have what's her name? Sylvia Sidney, who played Juno. Her character was a little. I mean, her character wasn't too weird. It was just the whole slit neck scene that freaked me out as a kid. But that's how
Okay,
she.
I think for a second about yeah, I know the scene you're talking about.
Yeah, but she. That's just because in the dead in the world of the dead, how you look is how you died. So
Right.
for her, she died by a slit throat. If you look at some of the other characters, like the woman in the window, she slit her wrist. And I don't mean to sound like talking about suicide, but that is how their characters are portrayed. You even got a guy who has a shark on his leg.
Um. Now, okay, so one thing I did not really pick up on, and I probably should have picked up on a lot sooner, was the running joke of the guy missing a head looking for his wife. Did
Yeah,
you figure
that's
out
Deeds.
early on? Yeah, I know who he is now, but did you figure out early on what he who he was?
Oh yeah, because
Okay, I just that completely went over my head.
after the story of where what's her name? What was her character?
Catherine O'Hale's character? Is that who you're talking about?
Yeah, d Delia. After Delia
Yeah.
explains what happened to Lydia's dad, I was like, okay, so he got bitten by a shark. Which, to be honest, the whole backs I understand that there's a reason why his character wasn't in there and how they portrayed him, but it seemed very corny on how they did it. But he got his head bit off, and again, sorry for spoilers. So I made sense that his character would have no head,
Yeah,
and then
that entire part just kind of went over my head. I
and
really wasn't,
they did talk about
I
that
don't
he
know
had
why.
binoculars and he was dressed for bird watching. And when I saw the binoculars, I was like, "Oh, this is him."
Yeah, no, that entire part just like went completely over my head for some reason, and I don't know why.
Hmm.
And then I also want to talk about the character. Why am I also forgetting his name? Jeremy. So
Oh, the
Jeremy
boy.
is yeah um yeah the boy. Jeremy is kind of a love interest for Astrid, who Jenny Ortega
Yeah,
plays. He's kind of the love interest for her
yeah.
in the
It's
first
the
part of the movie.
typical. It's typical of two kids who hate the world, hate their parents, and then realize, oh, there's someone else just like me. And that's not always the case.
So when we first meet him, he's hanging out inside a treehouse, right? If you
Correct.
remember that scene.
Yeah.
And Astrid meets him and they kind of start talking. I immediately picked up that he was dead. I don't know if you were thinking that,
I
but
did
in the
not.
back of my mind, what?
I did not immediately pick up when we first meet him that he was dead. I picked it up more of him wandering around his. Okay, how do I want to put this? So how his character is always by his house. That's when I picked it up. I was like, oh, there's a problem here. Because if you look at the first one, they're bound by their house or bound by what they love, which is kind of odd. Because in the first one, Adam and Barbara could not leave their house no matter where they went. But if you look at
Right.
Jeremy's character, he says that he can walk outside his house to the tree house and then across the street, which is very weird.
Well, going on from that, let me finish what I'm saying here before we dive into what that means. But I immediately picked up that he was dead. In the back of my mind, I was like, he's not alive. Now, I didn't really expect the twist that came later on, which we'll get into. But then the second scene that they're together, um he takes Astrid to his room and they kind of start talking about music and stuff. As I believe it was music, maybe it was movies, but she made like some reference to a newer type of music or
90s
movie.
music. 90s
It was
music
music?
and
Okay.
it was 90s music and then they were talking about some story.
Yeah, and he didn't know what she was talking about. Because he was kind of confused for a few minutes, and then he kind of played it off as like, "Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about now."
Yeah.
I don't
Now,
know if you picked up on that either.
I the only other thing that made me believe that he was dead was the Book of the Deceased.
Yes, and then she sees the Book of the Deceased, and I was like, "Okay, he is definitely dead."
But he
Because the
played
Book
it off,
of the Deceased,
but how he explained the book, he played it off very well, saying that, oh, he got it at a yard sale, which makes sense because Lydia had the Book of the Deceased, so did Otho in the first one. It could have wound it
right,
up in a yard sale.
right, and but to me that was just red flags. Like he is dead, but I still trusted him. And then he revealed that he was alive, and he turns out bad. So, what did you think of his twist-filled character arc
He meant, by the way, I
throughout
think
the
you mean
movie?
he revealed that he was dead, not alive. Um,
Oh yeah, oops. Yeah, no, he revealed that he was dead
yeah.
and wanted to be alive.
See, when he revealed that he was dead, I got it was sparked in my head when I saw that they were floating. It reminded me of Casper, if you haven't seen that. Have you ever seen
Yeah,
the live
yeah, I
action
can see.
Casper where he's dancing with crap, I can't remember her name.
I need to
But
rewatch that movie. It's been a
I need to
while.
rewatch that too. But in that scene he's dancing with her and they're floating. Same scene, I mean same aspect in Beetlejuice too. Except
Yeah,
for
but I
she had
don't think that
more
was like a reference or anything. I think that was just
no, it wasn't a reference, but
how it was
I got
shot.
the similar vibes. Except for
But
Jenna Ortega's character realized it quicker and was more afraid.
but what were your thoughts on like his character arc being bad?
See, that was a
Because
bit
I
of a
didn't see that one coming,
I didn't see it coming either, but here's the thing. I was more expecting the woman being the main antagonist of the movie, not
and
this
not
dude.
him.
Yeah.
But I also
But
kind of like that. I mean, I'm not against like the movie saying that type of stuff up. Even inside the trailers.
oh, in the trailers, you don't even expect it at all.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I didn't really watch a whole lot of trailers. I tried not to
I
on
try not to.
movies that I normally see.
I only saw a few. I may have saw the first one, and that was it, and then maybe this one before I even went to the theater.
Right.
Right. Mm.
Yeah, so that was definitely a highlight of the movie was him just, all of a sudden, trying to trick um Astrid into
See, now here's the trick
uh
part. Hit the way he tricks her into going to the after the world of the dead. I thought that what they were doing was what Beetlejuice tried to do to her mom, which was marry her. I thought that was the whole point. I thought like, oh, yeah, I'm gonna invite you to the world of the dead so that we can get married, and then I could be broken of my curse. I thought that was gonna be the loophole that Barbara and Adam found. Turns out it's not.
yeah, so I did see somewhere like the loophole that Bob and Adam found was probably the Soul Train,
Yeah.
and that's how they were able to move on was through that.
Unless
Which I mean, the
they
Soul Train is just really
a train.
weird. What?
It's just a train. It's a subway train.
Yeah, but it's like a whole, 80s theme, you
Well, yeah, that's
know.
the point. It's because there's a song in from the 80s called, I mean, not song, song, a group that's called Soul Train.
That's right, though, isn't there? I forgot
There
about that.
is. They sing some of
No,
the
I just,
most popular 80s songs.
I just really like that, and I thought that was like a really cool uh
I
thing
mean,
that they had inside.
it was a funny joke. I like how they implied it because you don't expect it. Like there's different things that are called like there's a soul plane, there's a soul train, there's other soul things related, but Soul Train they played off very well. But the how they kept the '80s vibe with it was kind of iconic.
Yeah, it made sense,
Yeah,
Of Beetlejuice, it made sense to just have this weird train take place in the 80s with all of these people dressed up as,
which
as
I
like an 80s
think
party or something.
if you look back at the I know you haven't watched the show, but if you look back at the cartoon show, Soul Train is implied in the cartoon, but not at that level. Whew, sorry, I am yawning. Again, we just woke up and we're now doing this.
No, you broke out there for a minute on the chat.
Oh, well, I'm watching the thing on my end. I can see my mic going.
Okay. Um oh, what else did I want to mention? Was there any like big highlights for you that was mentioned or that you want to
The big,
mention?
the big highlights, and a lot of people might wonder this if you are a Beetlejuice fan yet, and you want to know where Beetlejuice comes from. I like how they implied it in the second one, but it was a little weird. Grant, I like how they implied his backstory. You get more suggestion because it does explain. If you look back at the first one where he says, "Well, I lived through the Black Plague. I've seen The Exorcist about 167 times, and it keeps getting funnier every single time I see it. Not to mention you're talking to a dead guy." When he says that line, I might have missed one part where he says he graduated from Harvard, um, or something else. It is implied in his backstory, but what you don't see is that the way how he died compared to how he dies in the second one, his body is more like decaying than it was in oh god, where am I going with this?
I don't know where you're going with this.
I'm really trying to piece this together because he's he gives off his backstory in the first one. We were like, okay, so this is how he is. But if you look in the second one, he lives through the Black Plague. He's actually a grave robber, and he falls in love, which is another thing I'll talk about after this. But he falls in love, she kills him, and then he gets revenge. But he dies in a way that I don't see how that implies of how he looks in the afterlife. Because he was poisoned, but if you, how does that make him look the way he does in the afterlife? Is my question.
It could be how he chooses to look, maybe.
Chooses, yeah, maybe. Unless that was just a reference to decaying corpse from the Black Plague. Um, actually, now that I mention it, it could be the Black Plague because if you look at his neck, it's got more of the Black Plague mumps on his neck.
Yeah, yeah.
But I do like, so if you watch the first one, when I said he fell in love, if you watch the first one, he's trying to get married to Lydia, and he pulls out a finger. If you remember that, he pulls out a finger with a ring on it, and he tells her she meant nothing to me. If you look in the second one, I like how they implied that her finger ha was crawling away, and it's the ring finger, and there's no ring.
Okay, I must have missed that then. I do remember the finger and her looking for it,
Yeah.
but I must have missed the not having a ring or anything.
Oh yeah, I looked for that too. It's like if this one was looking for Beatrice, and if this was his ex-wife, because once he told the backstory, it made sense. It was like she's missing a finger, the finger from the first movie. He pulls it out of his jacket, and it has the ring on it. So he must have chopped her up, and taken the ring and put it in his pocket, especially with her finger.
Yeah,
But that was kind of a fun twist there.
and then so your thoughts are a little bit more different than mine, obviously.
Okay.
And what were your thoughts on his actual ex-wife? So she is presented as like a soul-sucking, like she can kill the demons, basically.
You could kill anybody.
Yeah,
Any of the afterlife. She's like the walking death for the dead.
yeah, and she's like presented as like this really evil being.
Yeah. But her
And
character might have been portrayed like that, but she didn't do much.
no, she's in like less of the movie than Beetlejuice was inside the first movie.
I was gonna say, because again, like we talked about this earlier, her character was portrayed looked like it was portrayed as the antagonist in the trailer. But when you watch the movie, she's not. She's just a wandering spirit, just doing random shit. Like,
Right.
oh yeah, I'm just looking for my. She's just a clingy ex-wife. That's all she is.
Yeah, and I don't really know what her intentions were after she got Beetlejuice. Like,
Well,
yeah, I'm guessing she wanted to kill him, but at the same time, like, I don't know what exactly her intentions were.
I don't know either because we didn't get to find out. We just saw that she was looking for them and that she can suck other people's souls out of them. That's about it.
Yeah.
We don't know what the whole point of her was.
So I kind of wish we got more of her story. Like, I really wish we saw more of her and just saw them, like, talk it out at the end.
Yeah, or a bit of a fight scene or something. Um, but in one of the scenes where she finds his office, she sees him, falls in love with this picture, then she sees Lydia's and she just shouts like, "This bastard has moved on."
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I was kind of wondering if they were going to bring that up at all or what.
Yeah, but they didn't.
They did.
There's like not even that much of a like fight scene, no conversation, no nothing. The most conversation you get in that scene is Lydia talking to Rory about him spilling his feelings about her,
Right.
and
Um.
I do. The one
Which
thing is, oh, go ahead.
no, go.
I was gonna say the whole spilling your scenes. That's like the most chat. I mean, most talkative point in the entire scene, besides the music. But they're all talking. They're all fighting, trying to prove a point. She comes in. It's like, okay, let me just distract you a little bit before I try to kill you. Not much. It was a quick fight scene, but it wasn't much of a fight scene. It was just a worm chasing her, or chasing Beetlejuice. I mean,
They don't even chase her, trying to tell you the truth. They just kind of, ate her.
yeah. Which is how he died
Yeah,
in the first. Which is how I got in the first one.
Right. And I do think it could have been a little bit better handled. Um, like the ending scene. Not to say it was awful,
No,
but I do kind of wish we got more of, them talking and them like battering it out.
yeah. Like, give us more of a like. There could have been like from her point of view than his point of view.
Right. Like, do we is that actually what happened? Did she
Yeah.
just randomly poison him or what? Like, because Beetlejuice isn't really the most trustworthy of characters inside this
No.
franchise.
Yeah. He's a trickster, and for all we know, he's probably trying to trick us because he has. If you paid attention, he's pulled a few fourth wall breaks in the movie.
Well, yeah, I mean, he looks at the camera and says, the ex-wife is back.
Yeah, he does. He does stuff like that, but it's all his point of view. We never see her point of view, but we see his, and we see the other cast.
Right. So I'm
So there's
kind
like
of
a there,
curious,
yeah, 'cause there has to be like a whole nother storyline that we have not heard yet, which might be explained in the third one if they do a third.
which I was going to say they really had to do a third one. Like, it
Uh,
would be a really missed opportunity to not do a third one,
I was gonna say you
considering you
do.
have to say his name 3 times.
I was gonna say you do Beetlejuice and Beetlejuice Beetlejuice and Beetlejuice Beetlejuice Beetlejuice. I mean, come on, that's an opportunity right there.
Right. So I do feel like there'll be a third one, and if they do a third one, I really want to see Jeremy come back. I kind of want him to be like the big bad almost.
Well,
Like he comes back and tries getting revenge.
his character died. He got death for the dead.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Yeah, because he went
I
to
wasn't
hell.
sure if that's what that meant.
I think it's what it meant because his
Oh,
character just falls into like a pit of hell.
well, but that was also Beetlejuice who put him there, so it could have very well been something else.
True, he is a trickster, so he could have obviously done stuff. Here's another
Yeah.
thing. If you look at the first one, he's the main antagonist. He's the main enemy. In this one, he's not. He's the ally, which screams towards the TV show. Like he's protecting Lydia. He's doing things for her, which is the whole Jeremy scene. Is that you see Jeremy accomplish his goal of trying to become alive again, and then Beetlejuice comes out of nowhere, screws him over, which was kind
Right.
which like, okay, here we go. We get the traditional Beetlejuice from the show, but it's not the same Beetlejuice from the first one. I mean, it is, but it isn't.
No, he definitely seemed a lot more
Calm.
like an ally towards them. Not, full blown.
Yeah, he's probably
Like
more
he
of a
definitely
trickster than.
Yeah, and he definitely has his own intentions throughout the movie and his own goals.
Yeah, he's not trying to go out for blood in this one. He's just being his usual trickster self.
Right. Now, I know seen the TV show. I didn't even know there was a TV show until, earlier this week or the week before.
Yeah. Whereas
So
I
I will
remember
definitely have to
watching it
give
when I was
that
younger.
a look out.
I believe they're still on YouTube. I remember rewatching them all on YouTube.
Yeah, I
I don't
did see
remember
some of
what
them like you can
platform it was
stream
on.
it.
I wonder. I don't remember what platform it would be on if it was streaming. Now I'm curious. I gotta look this up.
It's on Tubi TV.
Oh, well, I don't have that.
Oh, it's free.
Okay. Um,
Um, but
so
side note though.
yeah. Uh, so I'm gonna bring up 2 points.
Okay.
Let's talk about the one character that everyone felt bad for in the entire movie. Let's talk about Bob.
Oh my gosh, Bob. I felt so bad for him.
Oh my God.
I mean,
Vaughn, out of all
he
the
gets
characters,
bullied by Beetlejuice so badly, and then he just dies from his ex-wife.
he's like the apprentice to Beetlejuice. He's like, he looks up to Beetlejuice. He tries to do his best for Beetlejuice, and they get screwed over at the end. And I was like, oh no.
Yeah, Beetlejuice 3 needs to bring Bob back. I'm just gonna say
Well,
that right now.
it's gonna, that's gonna be tricky if they did, because his soul got
I
sucked
don't know.
out unless her dying returns the souls.
I mean, they could put it like that and be like, since she was defeated and she died, those souls come back.
Yeah.
I would happily take that as an explanation and have Bob back inside
Us.
the whole movie.
I like how they had like a little memorial thing at the end of the movie for his character in loving memory of Bob. Oh my God.
Yeah, no, I that was definitely a highlight of the movie. Was just seeing him throughout.
Yeah, besides
You said
Jenna
you want to bring
Ortega's,
in.
what?
What about Jenna Ortega's character?
I was gonna say, besides Jenna Ortega's character being my favorite, his character is one of my top favorites from that movie.
Yeah,
Even though he
and I
didn't do
really did like
much.
Ortega's character. She has really become a big icon inside the whole stuff
Yeah, 'cause
recently. I mean, she's been in Scream.
she's been in Scream, she's been
She's
in Wednesday.
Wednesday.
She does play a good
So
goth character. I
yeah,
will
I
admit
mean,
to that.
and she plays really any character well, I
Yeah.
think.
There's
So
another
I'm
movie
definitely
she's
curious.
go ahead.
Um, Let me
You're
see.
curious about what?
I'm curious about what she's gonna be doing here. I think she's definitely one to keep an eye out for, especially in
Well,
the horror franchise.
I'd say she's a new version of my phone locked up again. She's definitely a new version of Winona Ryder. She's definitely a new version of her character as Lydia. And
Yes.
she plays it very well.
She was in the movie X.
X.
That's the Pull X Maxine franchise. I'll send you some
Are you
videos
saying
on it
X as
later.
in the letter or X as in EX?
X as the letter. That's the name of the movie.
Oh, this movie.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I did not know what you were referring to, but now I see it.
Yeah,
That,
she's
I,
inside that movie. And yeah, so she plays characters really good. And she is one to keep an eye out for.
I could see her definitely being the. If you do, did you see the last Chainsaw Massacre movie, Texas Chainsaw?
Bits and pieces, yeah, I've seen it.
So I don't remember the actress's name, but she's the one who plays um the girl protagonist from Percy Jackson, the movies, not the TV show.
Alexandria. Um, you're talking
I
about
can
the actress who plays Annabeth, right?
Yes, that's it. The girl who plays Annabeth in the movies. She was in the last uh Texas Chainsaw, where she's like supposedly the sister or cousin or whatever to the the guy who plays the Texas Chainsaw. I feel like Jenna Ortega would have been a better choice if you were to recreate it now, because of how her character is like the dark and moody. It would probably suit that very well.
And they could have approached him, but she may have been unavailable due to filming Wednesday or X or something.
Well, here's another thing. She was a lot younger when they were recording this.
It came out in 2022, so yeah, probably.
So she probably wouldn't have been able to do certain scenes. Like,
Yeah.
because there's a scene where what's her name that plays Annabeth is have like her shirt ripped open and you can see her chest. I'm pretty sure Jenna Ortega was probably a little bit too young to be even doing that.
Yeah, no, that's a TV show. I'm trying to figure out what movie you're talking about.
I'll look it up and I'll send it to you. I forgot my other point.
Oh, the 2013 one.
Yeah, that one.
Okay. Yeah, no, I was looking at the 2022 one.
Oh, okay, no. It's the
Yeah, no,
2013.
yeah, she was definitely too young to be in that
Dude,
movie.
exactly. Now, if they held that off to today, she probably would have suited that role.
Yeah.
Or
Oh, yeah.
the, or,
But
what
she
was it? Emma
doesn't do
Stone.
a lot of like naked scenes
No, no, no.
either.
It's not the, I'm not talking about just doing the naked scene. I'm just saying, like, that kind of character of being the moody
Yeah.
teenager. Oh, hold on. All right, you there?
Yeah, Mel.
Okay, my headset was about to die. I had to plug it back in.
Ah.
So, I'm trying to remember my other point of the movie, but yeah, Bob's character was. I could see so many costumes coming out for Spirit Halloween of being Bob, of his character.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah,
This,
I'm
this,
definitely gonna be curious about the costumes.
'cause this character deserves better.
No, there'll be definitely a lot of memes about his character.
Yeah, you want to think that the baby was going to be the adorable part of the movie. No, Bob's character was like the most sincere character. Like, you feel so bad for
I
him, not
mean,
the
he was
baby.
the kindest. Like,
Oh
he
yeah,
was just the best
he was
character inside the movie.
he was the loyal soul.
Yeah, because all of the other henchmen, that Beetlejuice has, all escaped
Yeah, and they
when
go terrorize the
Beetlejuice.
town.
Yeah. Which did we really ever see that get taken care of?
No, they should have had some after credit scenes of what happens to them.
Yeah, I don't think
Instead,
they
we
ever
it's
showed like what happened to all of them.
no. The only thing they
I mean,
showed was Beetlejuice being is still alive.
we can kind of assume that the cop character of the movie. I lost it here
It's the
since I
guy
had
who
to go
plays
to.
it's the guy who plays Green Goblin from Spider-Man.
Yeah, Wolf Jackson is his name. So
That's it.
I guess we can kind of assume that Wolf, got them and took them back, like what he
Yeah.
did to Catherine O'Hara's character Delia. He took her back because she dies inside this movie.
Yeah, which is very ironic because she her character is just one of those free-spirited artists. I gotta try different ways to improve my art, prove myself. And I
I
get that
really
there's
like her character inside this movie.
see, I'd prefer the first one. It's like she's just trying too hard in this one.
I don't
Like
see.
her
I differ on this. I didn't like her in the first one.
you and I had two different point of views. In the first one, to me, I see her character as calm as can be. It's like a usual stepmother. In this one, she's just trying too hard. It's like every okay.
Yeah,
Here's a
she is trying,
look at it
but
from
I
my how
really,
this look at it from this point of view. So you know what my job is, right?
yeah.
Okay, I've I don't know if I told you the story. Okay, so it's not a story. Sorry. Uh, I work as a graphic designer as a form of art. I know what it's like going to art shows and dealing with artists and being like how she was in the second one. Those people, no offense to them, need to get a grip on life. They really do, because you don't need to act like a child like that. I've been in art shows. I've submitted my work. You don't see me acting like that. I have I have seen some people act like this, and it's just annoying.
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely see that, but I don't know. I find a lot of those scenes just a lot more funny inside this movie.
I'll admit, yes, some of her scenes are a lot more fun. They're a lot more active because in the first one she doesn't do that, but the first one she's just being
Yeah.
the usual stepmother character.
And inside this one, we kind of see more of their relationship, and they have a much better relationship.
Oh yeah, you see more of the relationship. Yes, that is true. But
And
the
they
way she,
definitely have like a more positive relationship.
uh,
I
it's
say
more
positive
it's more
very
bonded.
loosely.
I'd say it's more
Yeah, I
bonded
say positive very loosely.
because in the first one, the only time you ever see them actually bond is at the very end when Beetlejuice is defeated. In this one, you just see the aftermath of like, okay, they spent their years bonding with each other, trying to get used to each other.
Yeah. And so I was kind of sad to see her character go.
But
I'll admit, I
how
like
her
I want to see more of her character.
how her character went though, how she died. To be honest, I wanted. It was funny how she went, but I would have for me, I would have liked to see her a reference to the first one where she gets attacked by her own artwork. If the
But she
artwork,
kind of did in a way. Like she was trying to make art and she got attacked by snakes that she bought and had defanged.
yeah, it's supposedly defanged.
Yeah.
But if you
So I
look at the
mean, in a
first,
way, she kind of was, but also wasn't.
yeah, I guess. But if you look at the first one, how the statue falls on her and she says, "I don't want to die like this." That would have been a funny reference to the first one.
It would have been, but it also would have been like very hard to do with the story that they were putting up. I
Yeah.
feel like
Not unless
I don't know
how
how they
what
would have
if
been able to make that fit.
well how they could have done it is she's that one statue that trapped her was in three different locations in the entire movie. There's one at the school that John Ortega's uh John Ortega was at school. It was out there in the courtyard. There was one by the house, and then there's one in town. But unless it was just from the model,
I'm gonna have to. I don't know what statue you're talking. I know the statue, but
it's
I guess I missed that.
it's the one that has like the square base. Looks like a awkward looking hand that's got like multiple. It's like a leaf kind of. It's the one that
Yeah, I didn't see it multiple times. I only saw it inside the courtyard scene at
yeah,
the school at the
it's the
very
one that
beginning.
grabs. Well, I had paid attention, but it's the one that grabs her at the very end of the first one. If that one were to come
Gotcha.
back crawling into the church and she saw that, she would go like, "Not this shit again." That would have been funny. I would have taken that scene over how she died.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Um. There was an F bomb inside this movie. I was
There
kind
was
of
what?
surprised by that.
There was what?
An F bomb inside this movie.
Oh yeah, there's a big F bomb.
That scene got you. You were laughing at that scene.
Because you don't because if you look at the first one, there's no swearing. Well, yeah, there is swearing in the first one because here's in the first one it's rated PG, right? It's rated PG. For the time
Right.
that it was created, it wasn't PG-13, it's PG. So it's just parental guidance. You look at it now, it's PG-13. In this one,
Oh yeah.
the first one, you hear him say the F bomb. There's no bleeping. This one they bleeped it out.
No, they said it one time and then they beeped the second one out.
They did?
Yeah, those two of them.
I only remember the one where they bleeped it. I don't remember the other one.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly what he was saying, but like I think it's. I want to say it's when his ex-wife walks into the church.
That's where they bleeped it.
Maybe that was the sec. Okay, so that was the second one. So there was one before that then.
Okay.
Okay,
I
I
listened.
looked at you for your reaction, and I thought you were laughing at that point.
I might have been laughing. It depends on what it was. I just remember the one where they bleeped it out. It was hilarious because you hear him say it in the first one, and they don't bleep it up, but that was when they bleep him out, and it's kind of funny.
Well, yeah, but the reason they beeped it out is because they already had it once, and you can only have it once inside a PG-13 movie, or you can
Supposedly,
only
but you
do it
throw
once. Yeah.
yeah, supposedly unless you throw Samuel L. Jackson there, and he'll say it over and over.
I mean, certain characters, certain actors probably, yeah, they have different restrictions for.
Oh yeah, he built his franchise off of saying that one word.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And if you look at
Um,
Ryan Reynolds, he's allowed to say whatever he can for his characters.
so were there any other thoughts that you wanted to say about this
The
or
movie
movie?
the movie was great. I would advise everyone to go see it. It's worth the watch. But watch the first one first. Then you can understand my point of view on the second one. But if you watch the first one after, you might get more of Graham's point of view on it if you haven't seen it first. Um, there was another thing I was going to say. Oh, also, and I'm trying to advertise this for AMC or for any theater, but you and I both got the bucket for the movie.
Yes. Yeah.
But we got one of the
The
buckets. We didn't get the other one.
Yeah, there were okay, so there were two of them. I thought there was two, but we get the Book of the Recently Deceased metal
Welcome, good.
bucket.
Yeah, we got that one. The other one was the sandworm bucket,
That's right. That's right.
which
What do the other theaters have?
yeah, that wasn't there. We got the yeah, we just got the book, which to be honest, I kind of like more. Fun
One.
fact with another fun fact, and I don't know, and I think I might have told you this last night. If not, recently, it's the 85th or 58th year anniversary, right? Of Batman. It's
85th.
85th, so I was right in the first one. It's the 85th year anniversary for Batman, and theaters they didn't promote this as much as unless I have not seen it of the Batman buckets that they were selling. I had Kaylee go to the theater here in our town, and she bought the very first one. Okay, we went to the theater last night, and what did the guy tell you?
It was the last one.
You bought the very last one.
Hmm.
What are the chances of me getting the first one, you getting the last one?
I have no clue.
No, that's not saying that I'm got the very first one ever made, but the first one at that theater, and you got the very last one at that theater. It's kind of funny.
My guess is that they'll probably
Oh, they'll probably have
have some
more,
more
but
come in.
they'll have more coming. But it was funny, like how we get that little piece right there. Have you turned it on yet?
Oh yeah, I turned it on. Yep. No, it's very bright. It is
Well, you're
ginormously
not
bright.
supposed to look into it.
I didn't look at. I had it lying up against the wall in my basement.
Oh yeah, it is bright when it lights up for that.
No, I didn't look at.
And of course, you're wondering what we're talking about. It's the Batman spotlight.
Yeah, you'll have to put a picture or something of it up.
I'll probably post it. Whenever we get social media, I'll probably post it. Or whenever
There
we
should be
decide to
inside
record.
the community tab
Yeah,
on channels you can do.
there is that. What we could do is when we start recording us in a studio or in a room, we could just have ours in the background just shining on the wall.
Yeah, yeah. Which at some point in time we do need to make a studio, an actual like not a studio, but like an actual recording room.
We'll
Plus,
figure it out in
like
the future.
yeah. What else was I going to? No, I was just going to look it up because I got a. Did you get black one of that,
What do you mean?
or did you get I thought it was yellow.
What are you
But you know,
referring
it's
to?
just black. No, no,
What are
I'm
you,
just thinking out loud. You can cut
are you
this
talking
out. It's
about? Are you
fine.
talking about the bucket?
Yes, I'm talking about the bucket.
They're all black.
I don't know why I was thinking it was
All right,
yellow.
unless you're thinking about the light, because there's some that you can get like a blue light.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of then.
Are you thinking about the blue light one? Because we both got the yellow.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking about the blue light one.
Yeah, there is a blue light choice, but you and I both got the yellow.
Gotcha. Okay, I thought you said you got a different one.
No, no, no. No, yours is exactly like mine.
All right. So, anything else you want to talk about Beetlejuice? About the movie Beetlejuice?
No, I think we got everything. Unless there's something else you want to talk about.
No, no, I want to talk about the wedding scene and the character Jeremy. Those were my two highlights, at least.
All right. Well, I think I've given my opinion on the new one.
All right.
Um,
Well, thank you for watching, guys. Uh,